All right, Daniel. Thanks for letting me grab an interview with you. First off, just want to ask you about what you thought about the Mundine fight. Did you expect him to lose or win, and where do you think he should go from here?
Uh, to be honest, I didn't watch the full fight. I only seen the highlights of the Monday fight, but I made some predictions early on because I've seen Clody fight a few years ago, and I knew what style of fighter he was, and I knew if he went at Mundine and put that pressure on Mundine, he'd make it very hard for Mundine. He doesn't like that style of fight, so I thought if he could do any of that sustained and do that for a little while, he'd probably beat Mundine. And so to be honest, I wasn't totally surprised by the outcome. Probably I was more surprised by how many knockdowns he had because I knew Clody wasn't a big puncher. But in Mundine's credit, he got up and survived the fight. I'm not sure what he's got now though. There's not a whole lot he could probably do. There's probably not too many guys around the world that would look at Mundine as a way to rise, a way to step up. I guess he's only going to chase the money now. He's mentioned my name. He's mentioned Danny Green's name. I think is that something happened?
The rumors around his camp are Danny Green at 175.
Yeah.
What do you think of that fight if it were to happen?
I think Danny Green's probably in training now, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get down. He'd love that fight. I'm sure Danny would be the first one to be there for that fight, but he's been out of it for a little while. The money might make him reconsider slightly, but I don't think that's a fight. That's not a fight that interests me greatly anyway.
Last time we saw you, you stopped Garth Wood. You looked really good in the fight. I'm sure you've had a chance to rewatch it since then. How would you rate that performance compared to the rest of your career?
I was happy with that fight. I guess the finishing touches to it all. My power was coming together. I guess I showed a little bit more aggression than I have in the past. So I was happy with that. I was happy to practice some of my skills. Garth can be a difficult guy. He can be a little bit tricky. Can be dangerous with his head coming in. So I had to be smart about it. I had to use my footwork and speed, and it was great to be able to land some good shots on him, and I guess send a bit of a message out around the world that I'm still around and I'm coming for these champions.
You were way more aggressive in that fight than you have been in some fights in the past. Is that a change you've made in your style to be more popular, or is that just happened in that fight? It was just an easy target kind of thing.
Yeah, it's something I've been working on. There are times in my fights, I guess depending on opponents, but I definitely do need to be more aggressive in stages, and I need to take control, dictate, back myself, and that's something that I've been working on. Whether it is for the whole fight, whether it is for a few rounds for the fight. I know that there's times that I have to back myself and become a little bit more aggressive, but also I'm never going to forget what's got me to where I am. My skills, my footwork. I'm always going to keep that, but I'm just sort of adding bits and pieces. The weight division's very strong, so you have to be ready to add different parts to your game, and that's part of my game that I know that I can improve on. And that fight I did improve, and I know I can still improve more on it.
You're fighting Matthew Macklin, HBO, May 24th. How excited are you about the fight?
Yeah, very excited. I'm looking forward to getting back over and fighting again on US soil. It's going to be exciting. Fighting Macklin it's going to be a good fight. He's a tough fighter. He comes to fight, which is what I like. I want to go over and put on a good performance, but I guess it's probably similar to the Garth Wood fight in my mind. I have to not only go over there and win against Macklin, I have to go over there and put on a great performance. I have to show what I'm about and make a statement. There's Golovkin still around, Sturm, Martinez is still about slightly. So I want to go over there and make a statement. And Macklin's going to be a tough fighter, and we're not taking him easy, but he's going to be the guy that I can do that.
He's had his share of struggles his past few fights. He lost to Golovkin in a pretty embarrassing knockout. He didn't look good against Lamar Russ. What kind of guy are you expecting from him May 24th?
I'm expecting the best. I'm hoping for the best. Anyway, he's probably, he knows he's had a couple of hard fights, so he's probably in the same boat as me. He wants to come out and make a statement, to prove that he's not done. So we're expecting him to be fit, ready, and very, he'd be very aggressive for this fight. He'd want it badly. So. And those are the type of fights that I want. Those are the fights that make exciting fights, and I have to showcase my, not only what we were talking about, my aggression, backing myself, but also my skills as well.
Do you plan on testing his chin? Because he's been knocked out. Do you plan on, is that going to be what you go for to see if he's still there?
I never go into any fight preparing to knock somebody out, or not so much in those terms, but with the intention of just knocking a guy out. If the knockout comes, and I know if I throw the punch properly and I land it properly, I will knock anybody out, but I don't go in there with the intention of saying I'm going to knock him out in the third round or the sixth round. He can take a punch, don't get me wrong. He's proven in the past he's taken a good punch. He has been knocked out before, but I'm not going out there just to knock him out. I want to break him down first, and if it comes, I'd love it to come as well. It makes that bit more of a statement that I want, but I'm happy to just to make sure I win the fight.
How much tape have you watched on him so far?
I've watched a bit on him. I've watched the Stern fight and a couple of other fights with him as well, and that's why he does step up at times. He is a strong fighter, and he will come to fight. So we're preparing for all those things, and I think it's going to be an exciting fight to watch.
There's no venue yet announced. Where do you expect the fight to take place? And if you could have it anywhere in America, where would you choose?
To be honest, I got no idea where it's going to be, and I'm not worried. If as long as it's a ring somewhere, I'll be happy. Obviously, Vegas is always a place that any fighter would love to fight, but I'm happy to fight anywhere, and on such a big card, with my team at the Grange looking after me, and Gary Shaw, I don't mind where in the world that I fight.
Have you lined up any sparring partners for the fight already?
Yeah, my coach Graham has. He's been searching around, been making sure that we get fighters that are as similar to Macklin as possible, and I think he's done a pretty good job so far. I'm definitely going to be prepared for this one. Be prepared for 10 hard rounds. Anybody
notable, name-wise, who you're going to plan on sparring with?
No, at this stage. I think we'll be starting with another Australian fighter, Jared Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably, to be honest, he's probably got a few more skills than Macklin, but he's going to be a good sparring partner because we've done rounds before as well, but because he's a very busy fighter, he'll like to get in there and mix it. He does have probably better footwork than Macklin, so it's going to get me moving as well. It's going to start things off very well.
Your last trip to the U.S., it didn't go the way you had hoped. How important is it for you to turn that around and go get a win there?
It's very important, but I'm not worrying about that sort of